Okay. For those of you who are listening, that was the cartoon Meghan and Harry holding their placards, their protesting signs saying, "We want privacy. We want privacy." Okay. And then we've got the twerking video. So we're going to take a look at this together.
Back to back.
Back to back.
I mean, if they're looking at that and think this is clever,
Yeah.
I mean, are they stupid or what?
Well, I think
Because
they
just
are.
think, because it just looks like it's in such poor taste, and yet she thinks that she's a princess and has the right almost to be HRH, although officially
Meghan Markle in allegedly a labor and delivery room with her loser of a husband, pregnant and twerking to allegedly induce labor. I saw this and I sent an emergency 911 text to Kinsey.
Just let's have our privacy. Exhibit A. It would appear to be a rather interesting video, which I'm going to show you now. This is Harry and Meghan dancing in a maternity ward. Very strange piece of video. Let's have a look at Rupert Bell and what he wants to say about it. Rupert, very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
This is even for them. This is a very bizarre.
The moment where, I mean, she's like, she starts off slow and then she really begins to feel herself. You can tell. And, this most sacred moment, and he's coming into frame like.
It's weird, basically. It's to celebrate Lilibet's 4th birthday, because that was supposedly recorded while she was in labour, waiting for the birth of Lilibet. I shouldn't use the title, but has been quietly using it in places. I mean, it's downright awful. And
backwards, like, please help me, Kinsey. What is going on here?
She was one beat drop away from my neck, my back. And believe me when I tell you, Meghan Markle can finish that sentence. It is so
Meghan Markle is furious again. And this time it's because South Park took aim at her and Harry in a way she didn't expect. The newest episode roasted the couple so brutally that insiders say Meghan was left shaken and outraged. But here's the thing, most people are laughing, not sympathizing. The public's done with her playing the victim while living like royalty. And this episode may have finally cracked the facade. The episode featured animated versions of Meghan and Harry embarking on a worldwide privacy tour. Ironic, considering their multi-million-dollar media deals. Meghan's cartoon counterpart shouted about privacy while waving at cameras and doing interviews, and people instantly got the message. South Park wasn't just poking fun, it was holding up a mirror to the hypocrisy. And Meghan, she reportedly didn't take it well at all. Reports say Meghan was desperate to sue, but quickly realized parody laws wouldn't allow it. Satire is protected in the US, and South Park wasn't pulling punches. They mocked everything, from her obsession with controlling her narrative to her repeated complaints about being mistreated, all while staying in the spotlight. It was comedy, but it was also sharp criticism, and it stung. The public didn't shed any tears. In fact, social media lit up with applause. For years, Meghan played the underdog card, saying she was silenced, targeted, misunderstood, but this time it wasn't a media tabloid twisting her words. It was South Park. What really set Meghan off was the fact that people weren't defending her this time. Even former supporters admitted South Park had a point. If you want privacy, why are you always on camera? One post read. That message echoed everywhere. The episode cut through her usual PR fog, and people were finally saying what many had been too afraid to. She wanted the fame, but not the fallout. And then came the memes. Twitter exploded with clips from the episode. Fans joked about the Princess of Canada yelling about privacy while promoting her book. Others shared side-by-side comparisons of Meghan's real-life interviews and her cartoon counterpart, identical in tone and absurdity. The satire hit hard because it felt so real. South Park even threw in fake Oprah interviews, fake Netflix deals, and a cartoon version of Meghan, forcing Harry to carry her brand. It was savage, but it was accurate. The characters weren't random. They were exaggerated reflections of real behavior. And that's why Meghan couldn't laugh. She knew people were finally seeing through the carefully curated image. Insiders claimed Meghan was enraged that the show portrayed her as manipulative and fame-hungry. But South Park fans weren't buying her outrage. You live in a mansion and film documentaries about yourself. One fan tweeted. Calm down. Another added, she's mad because it's true. The internet, for once, was united. The royal family reportedly remained silent, but sources said they were amused by the episode. Some even hinted that this kind of satire might finally distance Harry and Meghan from any remaining royal credibility. They wanted to be private citizens, one royal commentator noted. Well, now they're cartoon citizens. As Meghan reportedly reached out to her legal team, the Streisand effect kicked in. The more she tried to fight back, the more people watched the episode. The full thing went viral, and even those who hadn't followed the Sussex drama were suddenly tuned in. South Park didn't just air a funny episode, it ignited a cultural moment. Meghan's critics pointed out how quickly she runs to legal threats when anyone mocks her. She wants free speech for herself, but not for anyone else, a commentator noted. That's not activism, that's censorship. And South Park, known for going after anyone, wasn't about to back down. The episode made it clear Meghan can't demand privacy and fame at the same time. You can't sign with Netflix, release memoirs, and do Oprah interviews, then act shocked when people respond. That's not how it works. In South Park, in typical fashion, didn't just say it, they screamed it in cartoon form. In one brutal scene, the Meghan character insists on privacy while standing on a giant float with her name on it. She holds up signs, does press, and blames everyone else. The message was loud and clear. This wasn't about being left alone. It was about controlling every word, every headline, every dollar. People who once defended Meghan started questioning everything. Why does she always act like the victim? How many interviews is too many? Why keep dragging the royal family if you don't want attention? These weren't random trolls, these were fans turning into skeptics. South Park didn't invent the criticism, it just put it on blast. And Meghan, instead of reflecting, doubled down. Reports say she felt attacked and mocked unfairly. But satire isn't supposed to be fair, it's supposed to reveal the absurdity in powerful people. And Meghan's contradictions were too easy to ignore. While the world laughed, Meghan reportedly sulked. She called the show disrespectful, even though it was no worse than what celebrities face every day. And that's the irony. Meghan built her brand on being bold, on speaking her truth, but when someone else speaks theirs, she wants silence. It wasn't just South Park that exposed her, it was her reaction to it. She could have laughed, she could have ignored it, but her outrage made the story bigger. It turned a comedy bit into a cultural verdict, and for once, she couldn't control it. South Park has gone after celebrities, politicians, corporations, and even entire religions, and most people just take it. Meghan, she wanted it censored. She reportedly told friends it was damaging to her brand. But that's the point. South Park wasn't mocking her brand. It was revealing what's behind it. Critics say Meghan wants to be adored, not challenged. She wants interviews where no one pushes back, documentaries where she's always right, and media coverage that paints her as brave. But life doesn't work that way. And satire, it tears down that illusion in seconds. Even diehard fans found the episode hard to deny. It's brutal, one said, but it's not wrong. Another posted, if you're famous and you profit off your story, you can't get mad when people comment on it. The backlash wasn't just mean, it was honest. Meghan's refusal to acknowledge any fault ever only made things worse. She didn't say, I see why people laughed. She said, I'm hurt, but it's hard to be hurt by a joke when you've made millions telling your side. That's not pain, that's PR. The South Park episode wasn't just a joke, it was a shift. It changed how people saw Meghan, not as a princess, not as a victim, but as a brand, a polished, scripted, curated image that cracked the moment it faced real criticism. By the end of the week, Meghan's outrage had backfired. Instead of silencing critics, the South Park episode gave them a microphone. The world isn't buying her royal rebellion anymore, and if she thought cartoons couldn't do damage, this latest backlash proves otherwise. Meghan wanted to control the narrative, but South Park reminded everyone that the truth doesn't need a filter, just a laugh track.